All right, it's time. Another week. ZTGD Radio. This is episode 819. That's a word. For November 4th, 2024. Kind of a big week. On the show this week, we have Terrence.
What's that?
We got the Wombat.
Yes, sir.
And we got Anthony.
I am here as well, yes.
Hi. You weren't here to talk about Sonic.
I know.
And I pissed off all the Sonic fans.
I'm sure no one called in or sent a tweet in or anything like that.
Called
in, whatever.
Randy R called in and was like, that sounds crazy, because he just said, he said that Sonic didn't control good, or no, the Shadow one. He said Generations was fire, but he said the Shadow game, he ain't like the controls. He was like, he ain't like Shadow's color. He was like, why is he this color of black? He just went in on it. It was crazy.
And then he's like, they covered up Rouge's boobs. Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
This ain't my America. Where my Rouge bat has the boobs.
But so how is it though, Anthony? I guess we're just gonna jump right to that.
Oh, we gonna go in? Let's just get into this, because we ain't got no time to throw. All right, Anthony, you're gonna go first.
Okay.
If it sounds weird on the cut, that's because I accidentally stopped the recording. That was my bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Professionalism.
Sonic
18 years in, we still haven't figured out how to actually record the show. So
I pressed the button, Ryan.
The biggest button.
The biggest button on my keyboard, and it went, what?
So, Sonic X Shadow Generations. This is the worst, transition ever.
Oh man, this podcast sucks.
Maybe we should just wrap it up here. I think it's just going to get progressively worse.
Well, unless anybody has anything else, we'll get out of here. Peace, bitches.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so Sonic X Shadow
Anthony,
Generation.
What you been playing?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get through
off
it.
the rails.
We'll get through it.
Sonic X Shadow Generations. So if anybody's played Super Mario 3D World and plus Bowser's Fury, this is the exact same collection, but the Sonic version.
Sega's like, we gotta do that for Sonic. Let's do this.
Even the menu is set up the same, where you have to select which game you're going into, because they're two separate games. So Sonic Generations, like Super Mario 3D World, they did do enhancements to it. Like, they have the drop dash. That wasn't in the original. I don't remember what game sort of introduced that. I think it was Sonic Mania. So that's been added to it. So that is just basically an enhanced version of the original, except they covered up Rouge's boobs. It's weird to complain
this
about
is a conversation.
I'm a Sonic fan. I'm okay with that. Like, that's not why I come to Sonic.
I mean,
that is weird.
Yeah, it was always weird to me that they had those, like, that they were. I guess they were trying to show that they were women, that they were ladies, but like, it was like,
they know their fan base. Come on.
It's just like, yeah. Anyways, it's just a weird thing to get upset about.
Yeah.
Oh, I just sounded real Canadian there. About
weird thing to get upset about.
Weird thing to get upset about.
This is the worst podcast.
Yeah, I hate this show.
Oh, this is the worst one.
As is tradition.
All right, we can wrap it up here.
The third time we wrapped it up.
It's just done.
And that's
It's
if you
over.
don't count when Ken accidentally wrapped it up at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah, spacebar is apparently stop recording. Just for Audacity users, that's what it is. Learn something new every day.
We're never getting through this.
Rouge's boobs.
So Shadow
Let's go
Generations,
back.
god damn it. Okay.
Right, Rouge's boobs. That's where we were.
So Shadow Generations, this is shoehorned into the story of Sonic Generations. It explains what's happening to Shadow, which was a better game, in my opinion. Because it does play like Sonic Generations in a way, because the stages that you play are just ones that weren't in Sonic Generations. So you have one from Sonic Frontiers, surprisingly. I think you have one from Shadow the Hedgehog. I can't remember where the other two are from.
So what you're telling me is like all of this is one giant timeline, and you're just filling in gaps?
Yeah, basically. I think there's only like one 3D Sonic game that isn't represented.
I don't know, man.
No.
The fact that there's like this much Sonic lore is crazy to me, especially since that Shadow game starts off with like some little kid and a thin Eggman playing with Shadow.
So it's not
What?
Okay, so here's the thing. And this is the story.
I
in
need
Sonic
that sound
Adventure
effect,
2.
Terrace. What?
I have to clip that. All right, go.
So Gerald Robotnik is Robotnik's grandfather.
Okay.
I think they're changing it in the Sonic movie to be his dad, which is fine. Whatever. I don't
Gerald.
remember how Maria is involved. Like, I don't remember who she is to Gerald Robotnik. This is where I hate it. This is where I hate this part of the story. Somehow, before Sonic existed, Gerald Robotnik made a thing that happens to look a lot like Sonic.
I'm still stuck on Gerald.
Right. Gerald Robotnik.
Gerald.
Yeah.
What's Robotnik's first name?
Ivo.
Ivo. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I maybe not anymore, because at one point they played real fast and loose with what they would take from the Archie comics and what would be included in lore. So I don't know if that's a thing anymore. There's good reasons not to visit Sonic websites.
There's good reasons not to Google Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
That's a true story.
So, but anyways, yeah. So, and then in Shadow the Hedgehog, they introduced Black Doom, and that Shadow was built from Black Doom's DNA.
What the fuck?
Black.
But looks like
Doom?
a hedgehog.
I'm almost certain that's a porn star. Black Doom. All right.
I
Look,
mean,
man, I didn't read the rules.
Don't Google any of this, kids.
No. Yeah.
True story.
True
So yeah,
story.
like it was weird then, because like, why is something that looks very evil, demonish, look like a hedgehog when the DNA was used? Like, it doesn't. It's dumb. It's dumb, and I don't think about it too hard because I hate it more.
I'm scared of people that do think about it a lot.
I mean, I care about it, I think, the extent that one should, which is like, I read the comics.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't go any further than that. So yeah, this game has like an open world. And it's very small, but it's sort of a playground, and it feels like Sonic Frontiers. But Shadow plays very different to Sonic. I thought one kind of interesting change is that instead of just hitting the jump button constantly, which is how Sonic does his homing attack, you actually have to press square. And I know that's a small change, but when I was expecting to hit X again to attack. It felt very different, so it feels a little bit more deliberate when you're playing as Shadow. This game sort of is making Shadow a goo monster.
What
Yeah.
are these things you're saying about Sonic? What, we got Black Doom, we got goo monsters. What is happening here?
So yeah, like
Sonic the
Shadow is now
Goo-Hog.
turning into an eldritch monster.
Oh, fuck's
Holy
sake.
shit! What is going on?
We're doing too much for the blue man. I'm sorry.
And I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of interesting because like Shadow, like Sonic the Hedgehog is ripped off of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Z is just taking the Dragon Ball characters and making Superman.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird because Shadow was always Vegeta to Sonic's Goku. And now they're sort of establishing it more as Sonic is Spider-Man and Shadow is Venom.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like there's some weird stuff you do in this game. Like grow wings, turn into a squid monster.
Holy shit. Wait, okay, this is in Shadow's game?
Yeah.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some really trippy visuals. Like, I'm just impressed that already I've seen sort of an upgrade in how an open world in Sonic could be handled. That the one thing that I would say about Frontiers is that it's cool to run through like open fields for the first time as Sonic. But a smaller world where like you're kind of platforming up and everything would be nice too. They didn't feel really natural in the world, and this one it does because it's sort of building the level design off of the stage that you can play in that area. I really liked it, but like, you know, I'm gonna give Sonic a little bit of slack all the time. So like, I think if you enjoy a Sonic game more often than not, you're gonna really like this. Especially if you played Frontiers and like that. This is more of that, but it's made even better because like Frontiers stages sucked. Like, they kind of represented like classic stages, but they didn't feel like it. They had this weird like digital world effect, and this is like going back to those stages and exploring the sort of unique aspects of each one. So I really loved that. Other games I've played, Deep Rock Galactic I played last night.
Rockin' Stone, brother.
Rockin' Stone.
I love running around and hit. Like if you play with multiplayer, everyone just runs around spamming that. You just hear Rockin' Stone.
Jeez. I was playing Scout, so kind of was trying to get into the motion of playing that role better, because it gives you the abilities to like run ahead and explore, but then you get into trouble and you're screwed.
Yep.
So I realized I should stay with the group and run a little bit ahead and light up the passageways and everything. And once I kind of took that role, I didn't die as much. What else played? Give me a minute. I gotta check my Steam Deck.
This is preparation.
He said he gotta check his Steam Deck. He said, "Hold on,
I gotta pull out my Steam Deck."
Sorry.
I'm glad that tickled you.
Did we lose him? Did we lose
Did he
him?
disappear?
You know what? This is already a mess of a show, and I will not be blamed for it.
Oh no, this is all your fault. This is your fault. 100%.
I don't like being blamed for this. I'm sorry.
So how's the weather?
No, you're fine. Hey, you know it's actually kind of chilly.
Yeah, I know. My heat's gonna be coming on soon. I'm not down for that. Not ready for the heat.
I wasn't here last week, and I'm just trying to think if I played anything in my depressive state. All right. I did play Aperture Desk Job before the show. I'm not done it yet. But it's Nate Bargatze as the robot that takes you through it.
That by itself made me want to play it. And I've had it, obviously, on my deck from the beginning. and I've just never touched it. But the fact that you said it's Nate Bargatze makes me want to play it.
It's the story of how the turrets came to be.
Okay.
It's more of a linear experience, but it's showing you all the aspects of the Steam Deck because it all interacts on to something on the turret. The story of how you get there is interesting. And then some Toe Jam and Earl. I went back on that because I like the game. I have it on PC, and now I can play it on
the first one.
Steam Deck. No. The
remake, I think. Didn't they do another
Back
one?
in the Groove, the one that I reviewed.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, well, are we talking about the original?
I mean, I do have it the original on Steam.
I swear to Christ, that song just came into my head.
I started a game called Mouthwashing.
It's a horror game, right?
Yeah, it's I didn't know what to expect from it. I was like, oh, this is a little bit more heady because it seems like it's an adventure game too. Like I'm picking up items and using them to solve puzzles.
Huh.
Yeah, and there's dialogue between like a bunch of... It's weird because it looks sort of like a PS1 game, and just no game on PS1 played like this.
Yeah, that's the new hotness. The PS1 aesthetic.
Yeah.
And the last game I played was the Pokemon TCG thing on mobile.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Anything good?
I've gotten the Charizard card.
The art one that you go into it. Nice. Yeah, I got the Mewtwo one.
I want the Mewtwo one.
Can you guys trade?
Yes, actually, it's not up yet, but trading is coming. Yeah.
They're really generous with the amount of stuff they just hand you for starting up the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that there is a single player mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like that immediately, I was like, yeah, that's something I can play by myself and not have to worry about like being massacred online.
Well, and you know what? I will say their approach to the online thing is like super duper chill. Because normally, like in Marvel Snap and even in Hearthstone, like the niggas have emotes and like do, they spam emotes and do shit. You like, man, fuck you, because you might have lost or whatever. In this, there are no emotes, and in fact, after every match, like it asks you to send a thanks to the person that you played against, and you don't have to. You can just hit X and be like, fuck them. But everybody does it because it gives you a shopping credit. So when you send a thanks, it gives that person a shopping credit, and you send them one in return, which in turn allows you to open more packs and do all this other stuff. So it's like kind of centered around being nice. Like they made it incentivized you being nice, basically, which is, I don't know, kind of cool.
Yeah, Overwatch used to do that with XP. When you would
it sure did.
Teammates.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just impressed with like how well done everything is. Like it's got good music.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
It's catchy. Yeah, like it's very sleek. The amount of currencies, though.
Welcome to free to play.
But the weird part is that most of them aren't like something you can purchase.
Yep. Only the gold. You can buy the Poke Gold, but to open the packs, it because there's like the wonder pick little like pieces, and then there's the time pieces, because it gives you a pack to open every 12 hours. Is there so, or every 8 hours? I can't remember, but you cap out at 2 packs per day that you can open for free. You can buy more if you pay for it with the little Poke Gold, but they give you so much of this stuff. Like I haven't bought any packs, and I have over 800 cards, and I ain't spent no money on it. And I mean, I got I have to give my friend code. You can look I got some fire ass cards.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. Like they have art from like the original series.
Mm-hmm.
Like really nice definition too. When you have holo cards, I like how they allow you to
spin it,
tilt it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, I like that.
And then the amount of customization that you have control over, how your game board looks and everything, the back of your cards. Yeah, I'm just kind of impressed on how much is there already. Like, they're only on their first, what are they called? Series?
Yeah, expansion or whatever. Yeah, this is the Apex whatever is the first one. Yep.
Predator, yeah, and then there's already rumors about it's a holo if the corner is bent on the package because you can choose which package you open.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, there's so much of that because there's like if you spin it, like some of them are like turned around. So I read somebody was like, "Oh yeah, if you get those, I tell you what, I have opened up so many of those because I saw somebody saying that I have never ever gotten any one of the like the EX cards or the holo cards or anything like that out of any of them.
Because I'm pretty sure that would be illegal.
Oh, okay.
Have to, in some countries, they have to show the odds of stuff.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember reading that.
I would assume. Yeah. I mean, maybe under this much obfuscation, it doesn't matter. Like the layers of, you can turn the gold into some other thing through this method, but it would be like way too many steps and not worth it. Yeah, no, I've been pretty impressed. I haven't done any online matches yet. I would kind of want to make my own deck.
Oh, yeah. Take your time, too. And it's because the rules are so different. Like, you have to, like, really think about, because, in the regular game, you have 6 cards and, that you to get to win. And this is just the first that gets the 3, kills. And the EX cards count for 2 points. So yeah, you got to like strategize. Like I had to rethink my whole everything about Pokemon when I had to make decks in that. But it's the single player stuff is really nice. Like it takes you through it and has different goals for each like deck, like each thing for you to meet. So it helps you like switch up your decks. So even though you really may want to play like a Mewtwo deck like I did, I had to build like a fire and a water ones to kind of meet those different challenges, which is it's kind of dope. It is. They did a really good job.
A lot of deck talk.
It was a lot of deck talk.
But yeah, that's it for me. I think I can't think of anything else I've played a significant amount of to talk about.
Good.
Okay.
All right. We'll move on to Terrace. What's up?
Well, I played a lot of stuff. So hold on, I gotta pull. My list is actually up, but I gotta pull up my Xbox thing because I don't remember if.
I swear to God, that you would think that we did the show every week that y'all would have this shit ready.
You would think, but this is just
again. This is the worst show. It wasn't. It wasn't by chance. It was by fate.
I mean, that's true.
Okay. All right. No, I guess I don't have anything. I could have sworn there was something that embargo had passed. All right. So I want to talk about because this will be up when you put this up. Empire of Ants. So this game is interesting. So it's a photorealistic. You're in a photorealistic, I don't even know, backyard. I'm not sure where we are. But you're an ant. And so you're down at ant level and it has a story. Like it's a it's not open world because you kind of have a base, like a main hub where you go to get your missions and stuff, and then they kind of send you out. But the levels are pretty big, and I don't know what I thought it was initially. I guess like Sim Ant kind of thing. Like if y'all remember that from back in the day.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be something like that. It's not. It's a what's the word? A tactical strategy game. So
what the people have been clamoring for. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And I guess this is actually based on a French book series.
Of course it is.
He has a couple of different books where he takes different animals and does that. I can't think of the word, but the anamorphic, like where they make them like human qualities type stuff. Yep, that word right there. Exactly. But he does that with these books. So you in this basically. So, but in this case, you're an ant. So you're like ant number, and I kid you not, 700,600 700,062.
You can't do
Something
math
like that. I
either.
can't even. No, I can't. Listen, I'm fucked up. All right, it's just listen.
I swear to
It's-
God,
you-
we
you're
didn't take
a
drugs
random-
before I hit record. I swear.
You're a random.
Sorry, what is this game?
It's called
again?
Empire of Ants, and I'm actually gonna get to talk to. I'm building it up, but it actually is. It's not bad, but there's some pros and cons. I want to get the review written up tonight because I have to send it off with embargoes tomorrow. But it's a, like I said, it's a tactical strategy game. So the queen sends you out to expand the nest of the territory of the ants. Like it's like the beginning of spring, and the fire bugs and the termites are major enemies, and I shit you not, like you fight, like you build a base like an ant hive, and there's different components where you can put down, like you can build defenses, which builds up these walls around it, and then you have these gunner ants which like spit acid, like they shoot acid out, so you can put them as defenses. But then when you go to like amass your army, like to go fight, it plays out like what is it, like the Total War games. So you'll have like a battalion of warrior ants and a battalion of the gunner ants, and a battalion you could actually fight with the worker ants because it uses like a rock paper scissors type thing. So the worker ants are strong against the gunner ants and so forth and so on. But it's cool, and it sounds in your head, like, cause I'm describing it, it sounds epic as fuck, right? So you have a whole big battalion of warrior ants marching towards these termites, and they engage and fight, and it's like, oh shit, this is going to be great. Like, and I don't ever fight, like, cause the ant that you control is more like the commander. So I'm like running around telling people to do stuff, and then I just kind of find a spot on a really high flower or something so I can oversee the battlefield. And my forces hit these termites, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. What? Tell me why only the first line of niggas actually fighting, everybody else is just standing there waiting. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why are we not clashing and throwing termite bodies and ant carnage? And it just it was
Remember that?
down.
You remember that episode of South Park where they had the big battle and it stopped and it said, "We could show you this, but we didn't want to animate it."
Yeah. Yes, I think that's what they did here. That's what they did. Because it's so disappointing. Cause I don't hate the game by any means. It actually, it's pretty interesting, and only because the story is played out via ants. Like, and it's like some Game of Thrones type shit, but we're ants. Like there's dragonflies that fly around. There's this one,
If there's not a character named Robert Baratheon, you done fucked up.
They're not. There's not. Everybody has a number. Like, nobody has, like, all the ants have numbers. There's what are those bugs called? The ones that have like the like horn on their beetle. Are they just called horn beetles? That might be what they're called.
Stag beetle? Is that what they're called?
Stag beetle. That's what it is. Yes,
they
it's
have
a stag
a
beetle.
horn on their beetle.
Beetle. No, that's not what I meant. You know what I meant. A horn on the front of their beetle, but it has.
Oh fuck!
Man had me. It's a stag beetle. Anyways, he thinks he's an ant, and he's like, "Hello, sister. I'm number blah 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 blah." And my aunt's like, "Wait a minute, you don't look right." Like, it's just it's
You have a
crazy
mentally
because-
deficient beetle
yes,
who
that
thinks he's an
it's
ant. What the
Yes!
fuck? Is this a DreamWorks movie? What are we doing?
Bruh, it's not. I had to double check, but you know what? Graphically, it's gorgeous. Like I said, it's photorealistic. So the ants look, like if you zoomed in on ants outside, like the different, when you build up your forces to go fight, like initially, like I said, they look really cool, and you think that it's going to be like all the Total War games where those kind of masses meet and then they just smash into each other into carnage or whatever. But no, only the first line of people fights, and everybody else is just kind of walking around. And then it also does what I hate in strategy games. If I have a unit nearby, in this case it was my gunner unit that had finished off their fight, and my warrior units were fighting somebody else close to them, why would you not engage and help them? Like, they literally were really close. Why would you not start shooting? Like, why do I have to command that? That should be common sense. And a lot of strategy games that come out now, they do that. But this one, for whatever reason, they chose not to. This is frustrating. more than anything else. But no, it's not a hateful game. It's
What's the name of this game again?
Empire of Ants.
Okay, I can't wait until Pixar releases Empire of a Bug's Life right afterwards.
And that is what's going to happen. Yes, because bruh. It's like I said, it's crazy.
I mean, there's
like,
already just a straight up Ants movie.
Yep, that was the DreamWorks ones. Yeah, that was Ants with the Z.
With
Arnold
the Z,
Schwarzenegger, I think, was
like
the
extreme.
Was he the bad guy in that one?
I don't.
Or no,
remember.
he might have been the friend. Maybe Gene Hackman was the bad guy. I can't remember. I know we watched those as a kid. I remember that.
I don't have the cast of Ants memorized, so I can't assist here.
See, because movies are my thing. Just like y'all can remember the enemies' names in Zelda, and I didn't even know they fucking had a name. Like I can remember random cast like stuff like that because movies, that's just my thing. Okay, but yeah, that's Empire of Ants. It's it's okay.
I know that's the game everybody was waiting on us to talk about.
That's it.
Right.
That was the one. I wanted to get that out the way. And then I'm going to talk about this little game I played. It's a little thing. Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Oh, is that where we're going now? We're gonna talk about this game.
Yeah. I figure we'll pivot right to this little game. So I'm not very far.
I'm just letting everybody know I'm checking out for the next couple minutes.
Yep.
He's not a Dragon Age person.
I've never played any of them and had no desire to.
That's crazy to me.
That is actually
it's one
crazy.
of those things, man. Like, I'm really glad everybody loves it. I have Inquisition because I heard it was an open world RPG, and I went, I don't really care about it. It was cheap, and I didn't have a ton of PS4. I never started
Nobody
it.
ever leaves the
Something
hinterlands.
else.
Okay.
Something else took its place. It's like most games I bought that were on discount. I'm like, oh, like, why not? And then I play something that I spend full price for. It's dumb.
I do that stuff too, though. Yeah, I feel you. That happens. You should check out Inquisition though when you just ain't got shit
play
going
it
on.
at some point. When I don't know, but I will.
Good news is the well, at least the 3 games I've played, I haven't played Veilguard yet, are all, I don't want to say super different, but are all relatively different. They're all RPGs, but they have their unique facets for better and worse.
And then there's Veilguard, which okay. All right. So listen, I haven't played a whole lot, and I don't hate it by any means. I've seen all of the discourse, and I do mean all of the discourse.
There's so
issues.
much of that discourse that is like totally pointless. I've come across one thing people are complaining about, and it was literally like I just pressed a different button.
Okay, I must not have found that one yet. I've out of all of the things that everybody's talking about, there are 2 things that in my limited time that I've noticed that I feel like might be like, oh, geez, type things. And I'm talking about them in a second. But I don't hate this game. First off, it's simply beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh my God.
It's
so pretty.
Yeah, it's absolutely pretty. I guess there's 3 things that I have that are off. Speaking on the graphical thing, one of the things that I think is just off to me is that I like that aspect. Like the characters, I like the different, like the design that they have for them. What I don't like is that they seem to have lost their edge. And I say that specifically.
They are very
clean
for people who are in the middle of this fantasy war world.
Right. And the past games
the
weren't
complete
like
opposite
that.
of Origins and Dragon Age 2, where people complained because your characters got too bloody and dirty after battle. I always loved that though. I
did too.
But see, here's a crazy little cool thing that I noticed. So if you've played the tutorial, and I'm not going to say who, what, when, where, why, I'm not going to spoil anything. There's a character that gets hurt in the intro, and that. Like the bruises and cuts stay with that character, but they heal over time.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool little touch.
Yeah. That and it is, but I don't know. It's just like Ryan said, the other ones, because even the third one, I think and I didn't realize that people complained about it, and that might be why they scaled it back in Inquisition. You weren't covered as much blood in fights. You still got, your weapons and you had a little on you, but it wasn't as much. but like in this, everything just feels like an anime kind of clean.
It's got a sheen to it.
Like a sheen. Yeah. And if you look at the perfect example is the Quinari. So in Inquisition, my main character, my Inquisitor, was a Quinari. Well, in this one, because they took out or messed up the way, how you can sync up, your choices from game to game, you have to recreate your Inquisitor when you start this. And so I went to do that and I picked the, Quinari. I was like, no, he looks like a He-Man villain from the 80s. Like, it's just very like clean lines and but if you go, and I loaded up my old one and like this dude looked like he will fuck you up in an alley. You know what I mean? Like, whereas the new one looked like you probably want to be friends with him. And I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Like, I don't know. That's weird to me. I don't know why.
I have said for a long time now, and I love Dragon Age. I've read the books.
Oh yeah, you're an ultimate fan.
I love all the games, right? But the one thing that EA has never done with this series is give it a consistent identity.
Yep.
Every game's been different.
Game has a different art style.
Yep.
And it's when they changed it for Dragon Age 2, it was kind of like this is the Prince of Persia Warrior Within version of Dragon Age, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we're going to make it grittier to try to get a point across. But then they changed the art style again for Inquisition, and now they've changed it again for this game. And art style is a big deal. Like the ability to immediately recognize what franchise a character's from can be a pretty big deal. So I just wish they would settle into something and stick with it. I don't care what the art style is. I just wish they'd find one and stick with it.
I 100% agree.
Well, and not just the art style, right? But there's been a lot of things that have, as I mentioned, that have changed game to game, including, and I haven't played it yet, but it sounds like the combat in this one is significantly different.
The combat is extremely different, but I'll tell you what, I fucking love it.
I fucking love it too.
I mean, I enjoy Mass Effect, so if it's like Mass Effect, I'm sure I'm going to like it.
See, the difference is because Mass Effect is like guns and stuff, and this is more because you
have magic powers and stuff in Mass Effect too.
Yeah, but because you're gonna play sword and board, so you're gonna be in their faces and stuff with that. So it plays like
I don't know how to
quite.
If it almost feels like a mixed. Well, see, I find it to be more like
maybe Fable.
If you took like a middle ground between a turn-based and an action game, because I feel like you really have to think about your moves.
You do, yeah.
When you're performing, so like there's a lot to the movement, and I'm playing a mage, so like I have a lot of ranged attacks.
Me too.
But you also have like these abilities that you gain, and they're very different depending on the situation. So like there's a dodge, there's a parry, there's also eventually you get an ultimate ability that you can use. The mage also has like a third person shooter mode where like you're shooting this beam at your enemies.
Press right trigger, yeah.
Yeah, and then like your attacks are pretty standard where it's like, you press the square button to attack. You can also jump and down attack. You can also like hold the button and charge up attack. Like the combat is so deep, and like if you get on the harder difficulties, like you really have to think about like which element do you want to use. You can switch your weapon on the fly, like you press down on the D-pad and you can switch to your different like with the mage it's like a staff versus a dagger kind of thing.
And an orb.
It's a lot, like, and they do a really good job of like introducing the stuff over time instead of just like a huge dump right at the beginning. But man, I'm having a ton of fun with the combat. Like, the only complaint I have about the combat is the same complaint I had about whatever that Joe Mad game was, where like it'll only lock on to the next enemy if they're in view.
Yep.
If they're not in view, it doesn't re-lock on to the next enemy, which drives me crazy, especially as a mage, you're playing a lot of ranged attacks. So.
And then you have enemies that like charge, and you'll end up behind you, and it takes your lock on. You got to spin the camera to reacquire lock on. The other thing too is you don't have. I feel you don't have as much control over your party characters as you did in the other ones.
You get a little more later on because they unlock abilities that you can use. So like you can like your wheel that you press, like I think it's the left bumper, you press it and you bring it up. Like they eventually learn like new moves and abilities, and you can do more stuff with it.
Okay, cool. Okay, because I was like, "What the hell?" Okay, all right. Okay,
yeah.
So
like that plays into the traversal too. So like, there's characters that get powers later on that can be used to like, oh, let's lift this rock, or like let's build this bridge, kind of thing.
I did hear that it. I did hear that it had a pretty good, like traversal system.
Yeah, it feels good to play. I do wish
felt good. Yeah.
Yeah, like I do wish the character moved a little faster instead of me having to click to run all the time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they move a little slow, but like the climbing, the jumping, like all of that stuff feels really good.
Yeah, I mean they vault over stuff when you go over tables and different like low hang. Traversal is good.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I wish that they had maintained a specific vision for Dragon Age, I am really looking forward to it, because everything I've seen about it does look like it's an enjoyable game, even if it isn't the same kind of game as the first couple.
Yeah, I think this game suffers a lot from having that name attached to it, because if you just played this game and you didn't compare it to the other Dragon Ages, you'd be like, this is a really good fucking video game.
Well, I think too the thing that and again maybe speaking out of turn here because I haven't played the game yet, but I am also disappointed in the fact that they seem less interested in maintaining your continuity in this game than they have in the past. I mean, Terrence, you made a reference to it. Inquisition, EA built an entire website called Dragon Age 2.
Yep.
Where you could pick all of the decisions that you made in the previous Dragon Age games and import those into Inquisition before you started, so that the world would feel consistent. And it seems like they've kind of gotten away from that a little bit, unless maybe I'm off base.
No, I think you're right. As a fan, like I'm not as big a fan as you. Like I'm a fan of the games. Like I like the world and stuff, but I haven't gone as far as to read the comics. And like the different books. I did pick up that Humble Bundle, wherever I think I put in the chat about that one that had a bunch of comics. Yeah, I haven't started yet, but I did pick up that. But yeah, it doesn't feel like they want the consistency, because literally the only thing that you can make from the other games is your Inquisitor, and I don't know how like they're referenced. Go ahead, because you must be further than me.
Well, my question is this the Inquisitor? Because they call him the Rook.
Well, no, not your person.
Okay.
You're Rook.
Okay, you confused me for a second. I was like, that's not the character you're playing as. Like...
See, and that's the other thing. It doesn't actually present to you, and you might have missed it. It doesn't actually present to you, hey, make your Inquisitor from the last game. When you get done creating your character, like you're looking at the finalized screen, at the very last screen of it, there's on the right-hand side, I think it was on the right-hand side, there's like, you press X, and it says, "Oh, create your Inquisitor from the Inquisition game." Like, and you can pick their race. I think that's
that never popped up on my screen at all.
It never. So it's there, but the game never actually told me to do it. Like it just once I got to that screen, it was like, "Oh, press start. Start your adventure." Like I just happened to see it and was like, "Oh, wait, what?"
See, that's a little disappointing to me, because number one, I'm glad they give you the ability to do that, but if you remember. It wasn't just Dragon Age, but Mass Effect was the same way.
Yep.
Like there was they were very careful and cautious about the fact that what they were telling wasn't a one game story. It was a story that was going to span multiple games. And so they put features in place to make sure that wherever possible they could retain your world and your past decisions and everything. And that was, I thought, a pretty important piece of both series, was the fact that they allowed you to do that, and it allowed you to sort of maintain some consistency. Now, what I'll say in their defense is that it's been 10 years since the last Dragon Age, right?
Right.
So it's not like Dragon Age 2, and Dragon Age Inquisition, or the 3 Mass Effect games, where they all came out in a relatively condensed time frame. Like I said, it's been 10 years since Inquisition came out. So unless you've played it again recently, there's a good chance you don't even remember the consistent storyline anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably get away with it a little bit for that. But it is still one of the things that I really liked and respected about the original games and Mass Effect was that sort of consistency. And it's a little disappointing to hear that they don't really seem to have as much care for it this time around.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of two things. Because the fact that I did not even see an option to create my Inquisitor is fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
how do you make that missable?
Yeah,
Like
no,
that's
fair.
but at the same time, to go the other route, this is literally a continuation. You start the game chasing Solace.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, which is why I'm surprised that they didn't make that a bigger deal, because it's a direct sequel. It's not
You're chasing him with characters who had the situation in Inquisition.
right.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
what are we doing?
Yeah. You're still. I mean, Varys is still there, and he knew basically almost all the characters that have ever been main characters for Dragon
Yeah.
Age.
He's
So,
like the linchpin, which is
right.
crazy.
He's the
like,
one holding the whole thing together.
You're talking about
Yep.
Varric, right?
Yeah.
Varric,
Yep.
that's
Sorry,
what I
you said
meant, yeah.
Varys. I was like, who's Varys?
I know.
Oh, I thought he said Varric. Okay.
No, I said Varys.
Like he narrates the
with,
fucking
Yeah.
game.
He
Yeah.
does.
Well,
Yep.
he narrated the last two
Yeah,
as well.
he narrates this one too. It's like, and you get those little like artistic cutscenes when you get to a story point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is literally pulling everything, but again, like, I didn't even get to make my Inquisitor because apparently it's a button on the bottom of the fucking screen.
Yeah, that's wild that is missable like that. But I don't know. Like go ahead.
I didn't realize how different the art styles were.
Extremely different.
brother.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
There was I'm surprised you missed. I'm surprised you missed the shit mountain controversy around the second Dragon Age. Because there were a lot of people that were really pissed when the first trailer came out for Dragon Age 2.
I remember that.
Because everything looked so different. And there were people complaining about the fact that the environment looked like shit mountain because it was, that time frame, everything was like
brown.
gray and brown. Right.
Yep.
I still don't like the
looking
look
at
of Dragon Age 2. I think the environments look like crap.
I agree generally. I like some of the designs in Dragon Age 2. There are some of them that I prefer the Dragon Age Origins designs for, but the games look dramatically different.
Yeah.
It also screams.
They've never really settled on a. Oh, sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
It screams new metal too.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was
that was the 360, Godsmack era. That's what that was.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Warrior Within.
The Warrior Within, which was
all
much
that
earlier,
stuff.
But yeah.
Yeah. The
it was, but
yeah, the game, I enjoyed Dragon Age 2. I enjoyed Dragon Age 2 probably more than most, but there are parts of it for sure that I would have designed differently. The biggest problem, I think, is the fact that they've never really settled on a good design choice or a consistent design choice for the Darkspawn.
Oh, they look different in this game too.
They are so different in this game.
Different shapes.
Yeah, and the Darkspawn were the thing.
Yep.
In the first Dragon Age, and then the second one they were a thing, but it was more political in nature, right?
Yep.
And then in the third one you had the fissures in the sky or whatever that you had to try to close and all that. So they just kind of really drifted on what the Darkspawn looked like over the years.
for someone
they
that
look
no-
very different in this one. Like I don't hate how they look. Like
I think
like,
they
oh,
look
that actually is
cool.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool, but it's so different.
Well,
from what
that's
we've
the
seen
case with
before.
everything. Like the only characters that looked the same to me were Varric and Harding.
Yeah, the ones that we've
but
seen before.
as soon as
Yep.
you get that cameo early on, I was like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's who that is. That does not look like that character."
Well, wait, because the one I'm thinking about is not a spoiler, and you are carefully bouncing around.
I'm being
this.
nice to Ryan because I don't think he's looked at a lot of the stuff.
I have not looked at anything in trailers or anything, so
Yeah,
Oh,
I have avoided trailers.
Okay, I thought you were the one that told me about this one. Okay, well, never mind
Oh,
then. All right, I
may
won't
have.
even.
I
won't.
I did see one of the trailers, and so if it's the person that I'm thinking of, I probably did tell you about
Well,
it.
why don't you just put it out there? Because you're the one we worried about. Who was it?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone else, but
It's very early in the game. I will say that particular cameo is very early.
Yeah, we got to be talking about the same person then. Okay,
I mean, Morgan
also
is who I'm talking about. So
thank
I
you. Yes,
apologize if that spoils anything, but it was in the trailer.
Yes, it was. That's who. Is that who you're talking about, Ken?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because that's where I'm at. Like I just finished that part. Like where.
So you just met Bellaris? Is that how you say her name? Bellaris?
I think so.
Okay.
Yep. So she does look different. Like when she appeared, I was like, is that my boo thing? What the? Because I told you in the first game, she's
been different in every game
with her.
a little bit.
Absolutely has.
But like in this one, she looks like almost like a I don't know. It's very different.
It is. It is very different. I don't know. I get it. Maybe they're trying to change it up because, like you said, it's been 10 years, though we got to attract a different audience, and that's fine. But it's just for those of us that have been on this journey, with these characters and with this story for so long. It's a little off-putting.
It is.
But the other thing I want to talk about, because I don't want to talk forever. I feel like I do that all the time on here. And this is, I know, Ryan, this was a big point for you with this game, and me personally, I'm kind of iffy on the writing thus far. I don't know how you feel, Ken, but I've had, a big part of these games is being able to kind of control the narrative with your character. So with Rook, so you make the decisions in these different conversations that are usually boiled down to like, happy, medium, angry, you know what I mean? Kind of choices. Well, I feel like in this game you get happy, kind of still happy but annoyed, and happy but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like there's no real way to be like a renegade type character.
Your
like
character feels very nice.
Yeah. Like all the time, like not even the because it gives you like the choice, like with the little emblems, like this decision is like, because I think it was, what was it, like she was gonna say shut up or something we were talking to somebody, I won't spoil it, in this place, and I was like, oh yeah, nah, be a dick, and like when the words that came out nowhere near matched what the option was that I picked out. Like she didn't even use any of the words that was in the option that it let me pick, and I say she because my Rook is a girl, but I'm like, the heck? So
some of it's good, some of it's bad. The deeper you get into the game, I did like again, I'm dancing around shit. But you have a conversation with a character and you get the option to be really sarcastic with your responses, and when you go back and talk to that character, they make an immediate jab about it, and I thought that was cool.
That's nice. Okay.
Like, so okay. I was literally a dick to somebody, and then when I came back, they were a dick to me because I was a dick to them before. So I thought that was funny.
Okay, so I guess maybe that does. I don't know, because
it's not as good as it used to be, for sure.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my primary, as I've said before, my primary concern around the writing in the new game is the fact that David Gator is gone. Right? He's completely gone. He's at a new studio. I don't even remember what studio he's at now. He went to Beamdog for a while and then he was gone from there. So, and he wrote the games, the first couple games, and he created the setting, right? So, the writing in this new one was always going to be a major concern for me.
It is
it's completely disconnected from the writing staff of the first group.
Yeah, it's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I know the guy that they've got writing it now has written for Mass Effect and helped on the original game, so it's maybe not as disconnected as I think, but it's definitely a different staff over there than handled the first couple games.
It definitely feels different.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say it's bad, but it's different.
And I don't want to say that I think it's bad because I'm still vibing with the game. Like I'm still enjoying it. But again, as a longtime fan since the very first one, like I'm like, oh man, this is different than what the other ones were. Okay, well, all right.
The characters feel very civil compared to the past games for sure. Now, not spoiling anything, but you know how a BioWare RPG works. Like they all have that same. Here's this mission. We're going to do it. We're going to go collect some people to do it, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it's always
it's always that. The first character that I went to get, which you don't have to go get this character first. That is funny. And I'll talk to you about it when you play it, but it is so. Also, the person that leads you there, I don't know if you've played this part yet, Terrence. Listen to her voice. She comes from a little game I might play a lot of.
I haven't gotten there yet. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to.
She might play a hacker in this online game that I play, and I just could not stop hearing Sombra when I was listening to her talk.
I will have to. Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet.
Like it was immediate. Like as soon as she says that, I was like, "Is that Sombra? Like, what are we doing?" But anyway, like the whole motif of that, the level that you play through to collect this character is fucking awesome. Like, whoever thought of that environment, it's so fucking cool.
Nice. Yeah, I you know what? And I'm actually kind of curious to play a more melee focused character to see how the combat and stuff.
That's who I played in the first game. Was a like warrior. My Grey Warden was like very much a warrior. But in Inquisition, I was a mage. So
yeah, I'm always a mage first because I loves me some magic.
Oh, you get some dude. That skill tree is fucking crazy.
My God,
that thing is huge.
I get it. Like at first I was like, what the fuck is happening? But then I took a second and looked at it all. I see what they're doing. So like there's different, you can really tweak, at least with the mages, you can tweak it out to play like how you want.
Yes.
And I'm thinking you can mix and match those different spells.
And you can refund immediately.
Yeah, I saw that too, which is nice. So you can
try stuff. Like, I'm trying it all out. Like I've got a electricity thing, I've got a freeze thing, you know, I've got a fire thing. So like I've got all the different ones to try out, and then you can build down that. So,
and that's the other thing the combat does in this well, which I liked this about the combat in Anthem, is it does that kind of detonator charging kind of.
Yeah, you get the detonator. You also get a finisher type move too.
Oh,
or like if you
have that. Nice.
Because it's got the like. If you beat their stamina down enough, they get dazed, and you can click the right stick and like do this super move on them. It's pretty cool.
Hell yeah! Okay, I haven't gotten that. Okay, yeah.
I like the combat in this game is so much fun.
You know what other game had combat like that where you could trigger effects by using your teammates effectively? Is Mass Effect.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, yep. I used to do that all the time too. In that, I mean, I get that's BioWare. That's their thing. I forgot that was a Mass Effect.
I've heard a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people say that like the opening hours of this game is like slow, and I'm like, I guess I didn't see it because like it just felt like I know
I'm not done with it, but I'm like shit. There's a lot of stuff happening.
It starts off real fast with that sequence, and then like you do the typical like I'm going to do that first mission to get the real mission kind of thing, and. Like, once I got on the path, I was like, yep, this is BioWare. I'm going to go here. I'm going to collect this person. And I'm going to go here. And I'm going to collect this person. And, like, we here. I think I'm, like, 6 hours in. I think it's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, I dig it. There's a lot of discourse around the game about, and Ryan wouldn't have seen this at all, what is the word? The DEI. There's a mission.
Yes,
Yeah.
people are throwing a fit over.
There's a lot of stuff about that. I don't care. I say this all the time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Do you? All right. The game, that stuff, it's not going to affect the game. Like, I don't know why people are tripping. It's really what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a lot.
You know why? Because they feel like they can't fuck it.
I guess that's what that is too.
It's such a weird thing. It's a fucking video game. Calm down.
Right, and if you don't want to interact, you don't have to.
No, none of that stuff has been forced.
I know Ryan hasn't. Yeah, none of it forced. So why are you tripping? Like, y'all just fucking.
Like, it came up, and I was like, okay, that's cool for people who are who want to do that.
Yeah,
that's cool stuff. But like, I don't have to do it if I don't want to. Like, exactly.
Like, it just. Anyways. But no, I dig Veilguard so far.
Yeah, I like it. I think I'm going to. I think it has a very good chance of showing up on my list. It's not going to be my game of the year for sure.
No, I don't. I don't think it would be.
I do like it a lot. Though. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I am so interested to hear Ryan's thoughts when he starts playing it. Where are you gonna finish up Black Myth and then play it, or what's your list? What you got on right now? Oh, we lost him.
He gone.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. That's that's the plan. So I've just got too much stuff on that I'm in the process of trying to finish. So I'll wait and pick it up when I have a little bit more time. Probably I'll pick it up later in the month.
I got you.
And try and give it
Black Friday. Yeah, hell, you probably be on sale.
Yeah, I mean, I may end up waiting that long. I don't know if I'll end up waiting that long or not. It depends, like I said, on how long it takes me to finish some of this other stuff. I'm definitely not going to play it anytime within the next 2 weeks. And I feel like if I'm going to wait that long, then I might as well just wait to Black Friday and see if it goes on sale. It's strange. I'll be 100% honest. This is the first Dragon Age game that I haven't bought at launch. So it is a little strange that other people are playing Dragon Age and I'm not playing it, but I've got too much other stuff on my plate right now to play it. I'll definitely play it before the end of the year because I want to make sure it's included in my conversation for when we start talking about Game of the Year at the end of the year.
I feel like it's a weird sign for all of us. Like, this is the first Dragon Age you're not playing at launch. There's literally a console launching this week. I haven't not bought a console at launch since, God, dude, we got to go back to the 90s. Okay?
Well,
damn.
Ken, I have to tell you, we're getting old.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, we are 100% getting old, which is crazy to me. Because, like, I sat here this weekend, I was like, I got 2 PlayStation 5s and an old Switch. I wonder if that would get me. I was like, no, you don't need it.
Oh, I told y'all. He was in the house.
I thought about it.
I could flip this.
I thought about it. Well, like, I mean, is it really that such a bad deal if I'm paying like $50 for it or something? You know?
No, I mean, no, it's not. Like, it absolutely isn't.
But then the old man kicked in. I was like, I don't want to load up all that shit and format it and drag it down to GameStop, and like, I just don't have the energy.
And that is, that is what you would have to do too. I think they do that for you. But, sometimes...
Well, I don't trust people to, like, take my credit card information off of this.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because sometimes they be on some bullshit and, these YNs, I ain't... No.
I would definitely format all that shit. Anyway, what else you got? We're already over an hour. We got more games to talk about.
No, damn, I'm so sorry. Real quick, I'm not even going to talk about these a whole lot. I played the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. I played the opening tutorial hunt, and I was like, yep, sold. I'm in there. I just needed to see how it controlled. It was smooth. It was fast. I'm in there.
That was my experience with it as well. I booted it up, played the tutorial mission. I did have a funny thing where I lost network connection for some reason midway through character creation.
Oh shoot.
And so it said it was returning me to the main menu, but it didn't. It dropped me into like the opening cinematic. And my character was like this weird bald character with the palest skin that you can possibly make, and both parts of his eyes were completely black.
Jesus,
it was like this weird, and his whole outfit was black. It was like this weird, creepy demon-looking guy.
That's crazy.
But thankfully, it lets you can change your character. But I skipped basically all the cutscenes. I figure I'll watch the cutscenes when I actually play the game for real. But man, it the way it kicks off with like the chase and that first battle and all that, it's really cool. I can't wait for it.
Yep, that is.
And it'll be nice that I think just about all of us are planning on playing it. So it'll be nice for us to be able to try to put together some multiplayer sessions and stuff, because I've played almost every Monster Hunter game and I have never played it with anybody else. So it'd be nice if this is the first one that we can get a multiplayer group together to play with.
Yeah, I am down, because I played a lot of multiplayer in what was the last one? Not Wilds, Lord. Rise. Yes, I played a lot of multiplayer in Rise. And the community, like the Monster Hunter community, is also very nice. Much like the Final Fantasy one, like really good people. Like people, they just drop stuff for you and everything.
Yeah, I've heard that. But just for one reason or another, it's always been a game I played by myself. But this one, even in the tutorial mission, it shows you how to do an SOS to call in another person.
Yep.
And so I can see how this one would be more fun if you were playing it with 2, 3, 4 other folks.
Mm-hmm. And they seem to make it easier too to get into online with this one. Like it's like menus deep and
definitely seems like it's a focus this time around.
Yeah.
Terrence, what weapon did you pick?
Excuse me, the hunting horn.
Oh, okay. All right. I did longsword again. That's what I always play in Monster Hunter, and it's good. It reminds me of the longsword in the last couple games, but I do like the sort of thing where you can aim. You can hold L2 and you can move the target on the
that's for the wounds,
and then attack. Yeah, and you can attack the wounds specifically.
That is dope. Yeah,
it's really cool. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I did switch. So I played I was coughing. I apologize. I started with the hunting horn, but I did switch to the longsword, which I do like. And then I tried the sword and shield, because I had never messed with that one. That actually that's pretty dope. Like you got some really good DPS, and then the added benefit of that defense with the shield. Like I wasn't getting thrown around. Like I was able to stop some of that stuff. Like I don't know. I may play with some different stuff. The insect glaive is what I really want to use, but I've heard it's difficult. Like you got to juggle a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I played Sword. I haven't played Sword and Shield. I think I played a Sword and Shield character for a brief period of time in World, but I haven't played. I haven't tried one since then, so maybe I'll have to check that out too. I pretty much always end up messing around with some of the other weapons, and I always end up back at the longsword just because it's my comfort zone.
I got you. I feel like I may end up with the hunting horn, because that's really what I started with these games, and I love that. But I do like the longsword. I definitely the longsword is fun.
The hunting horn's good support if we.
It is, yeah.
If you end up playing multiplayer, so.
Well, see, and Drew might main that, because I know that's his weapon. All right, let me stop talking about that. Okay, I also played. I'm sorry. I got a Steam Deck. I'm gonna run down these real quick. I played some Steam Deck stuff. That Jackie Chan game is dope. Kung Fu
Karate
Survivor.
Sorry, Karate Survivor. My
Kung
bad.
Fu and karate are different things.
That's how it sounded. You sounded annoyed, like, man.
They should call it Kung Fu Survivor if they're going to make the guy Jackie Chan.
No, 100%, or Drunken Survivor.
Right. Yeah, because you literally are Jackie Chan.
The game is dope, and it's out now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's out.
I bought it $5. It's on sale until the 13th. It's
dude, it's like $4.40, like 60 cents off. That's not a sale.
It's not that. it's not that. Well, listen,
Steam does a lot of those 10% off sales at launch.
Yeah, so does Xbox and PlayStation. Like a lot of the first week it's out, kind of 10% discount.
It's true, but look, man. Listen, I've been poor. Sometimes that little bit of change can make the difference. You know what I mean?
You can't buy shit for 60 cents anymore.
Nigga, you don't know that, okay?
No, I do.
In the hood stores, you might be able to find something for 60 cents.
No, nothing for 60 cents. Literally nothing for 60 cents.
Paperclip. Congratulations.
You can't buy just one, Anthony.
Well, that's
therein lies the problem.
But yeah, I played that. That's, like I said, a lot of fun. I installed Baldur's Gate 3 on there. That actually, that runs really well.
Christ, you totally have time to play
Oh.
that fucking game.
I absolutely don't. So listen, this is what I did with the Steam Deck. Like, I installed hella shit, and when it's like when you start emulating stuff, like, and you're setting all that up and you play it for 3 seconds. Oh man, that's good. That's great. And then you go to the next thing. That's pretty much what I did. Like, I was like,
Yeah, except emulation takes like kilobytes. You just installed like a fucking 80 gig Baldur's Gate 3.
well, Baldur's Gate is like 100 and it was like
Yeah, it's
120 gigabytes.
My point
it was
still
huge.
stands as it's not 3D World Runner, which is 2 kilobits.
True. Well, okay. I'm just saying that I mean, I'm gonna get to it at some point, but I don't have time, which is why I haven't put as much time in the Veilguard, because I have so many review games. Like, I really want to get back to Veilguard. But anyways, I did play a lot of
Veilguard on, by the way.
on PC. I tried it on Steam Deck. Don't play it on Steam Deck.
That's right.
You gotta play it on low. It is, man. But yeah, I'm playing it on PC. Doki Doki Literature Club. So I went back to that because that works on Steam Deck. So I was playing that last night, and I'm still sticking to my guns that game is going to turn out weird as fuck. I know it.
I mean, you would
it's
think
about to happen in that
with
game.
us telling you that you need to finish it and not see anything about it.
No, I know. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, because that's Anyways, and then I guess that's really it. Like, because I don't think the other stuff that I played, that's embargoed.
Yeah, there's an embargo for this week. I think I just gave you.
I played some more Call of Duty.
Dude, Call of Duty's so good. I just played the Most Wanted mission.
It is
What
good.
the fuck?
Yeah, Call of Duty is quite excellent.
Dude,
and I know
what the fuck
you
is
probably
that?
only play in campaign.
Oh, 100%. No, fuck that multiplayer. I ain't playing that shit.
Yeah, I'm only playing the campaign too.
But whole package wise, because I've played campaign, zombies, and multiplayer, all of it is top tier this year. But I think the Black Ops games have always been my favorites of the two that they put out. But this is, man, it's so good. Like that movement system, and then the campaign, like the mix of missions and stuff is just,
Dude, that's
excellent.
That Most Wanted mission, which is, this is not a spoiler, it's in the fucking trailers.
It is in
the
the
Bill
trailers.
Clinton mission.
Yep.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it is.
I like how they gave you 3 options to get the thing, and I was like, which one am I gonna do? Oh man.
Yeah, it's that mission was really good, and then the following mission is the thing I like about it is they're all different, right? Like the one mission is kind of like Hitman, right, where you're trying to sneak and all that stuff at the beginning of the mission, and then you get the Bill Clinton mission where you've got multiple ways to solve it, and then you're kind of sneaking your way through that area. And then the mission after that is like a miniature open world. You have a set number of objectives on the map. You can do them in whatever order you want. There are optional objectives that make it easier for you to finish the required objectives, where it gives you new like power ups, depending on what you want to call them, I guess. That campaign is very, very good.
Like they couldn't have picked a better year for Microsoft. Like they finally have a game people are talking about.
Yeah, because last year's had the campaign was literally only what you just described. That mission where it's like open world and you complete objectives in different. That was it.
I got bored of that.
It was fucking terrible. Yeah, everybody did. It was trash.
Yeah, I didn't play last year, so
well, that's all right. You playing the golden one. Yeah, you playing the good one. So yeah, but no, that's it. As I said, because I'll let somebody else talk, because I didn't talk for too long. I'm sorry, I gotta get some water. Go ahead.
All right, well,
I just found out that Black Ops 6 is playable on Xbox One.
Yeah,
is it really?
Yeah, of course.
I thought it wasn't, so I will be.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, and just play it. Like
hell
there is no way that, as big as Call of Duty is and as many people that are still on past gen, that they would not make that playable on last gen.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't even think about that though. I just assumed that I mean, it's their service, right? They own it. So they definitely should. That's okay.
Yeah, you should play this. Shit. This campaign is probably the best it's been since was it Advanced was the space one? Yeah.
The one I haven't played.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
No,
you gotta
that's
play that.
Infinite.
Is that
No,
Infinite? Okay,
Infinite.
okay, Infinite. Yeah.
Advanced is the one with Kevin
Oh,
Spacey.
that's one with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
I like that
okay.
one.
That one's
That's the one where
okay. Yeah, that one's
yeah.
okay, but Infinite is so good, and this one is like my favorite since that one, by far. All right,
All right.
Wombat, what you got?
All right, so the thing that I have played the most, I can't talk about for another couple weeks.
Yep.
So we'll put that one on the back burner for a little bit. I mentioned that I got stuff that I'm trying to wrap up in advance of playing Veilguard. So one of them was Skies of Arcadia, but that's been sort of backburnered a little bit. So I'm trying to get through Black Ops. I wanna finish that, and which we've already talked about, so I'm not gonna jump into that. And then Wukong is the other game that I want to finish before I start Dragon Age. I just finished Chapter 2 with all of the bosses killed, including the secret ones. Man, this game is so fucking good. It's so good. It is rapidly climbing my Game of the Year list. The enemy designs, the level designs, the boss battles, the way they tell the story, it's exceptionally good. I cannot recommend this game enough if you haven't played it yet. It is fantastic. The after each chapter, they do like a little mythology story. And the one after chapter 2 is done like in stop motion animation with little like puppets that you can tell are crafted out of like felt or clay or whatever. It looks a little bit like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like that style of sort of stop motion animation. And it's super cool. Like they do a fantastic job with it. So the game is incredible. I'm desperately hoping that it gets released on Xbox here soon so that more people can play it because it is.
And me too.
I think it's coming.
Very, very good.
I think it's coming. Maybe it'll be like a Game Awards announcement.
Yeah, that would be a good place to announce it.
Yeah.
Rankin Bass, Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, I mean pretty much. Yeah, it's really neat the way they tell the story in this game is it's fantastic. They do so much of the storytelling like off on the side and with the environments and that through the journal. It's really, really, really good. I know I keep saying that every week.
When I get the ability to play it, I'll probably play it.
So one thing I will say, it's hard as shit. So it is. It's hard. It's not
Ninja
hard
Gaiden hard.
It's Ninja Gaiden hard.
Ninja Gaiden hard is something I can at least somewhat comprehend. I have the worst time with Dark Souls.
It's not a Souls game. Definitely.
No, it's not a Souls game. It has some Souls elements in that, you rest at a shrine and the enemies respawn and stuff like that, but it's definitely doesn't play like a Souls game. And that, as I mentioned before, the biggest difference between it and a Souls game is you don't lose any of your progress when you die. Dying, all it does is take you back to the nearest shrine. You don't lose any of your items. You don't lose any of your will, which is what the currency is. You don't lose any level ups or anything like that. So you literally, if you're stuck on a boss, you can literally just grind until you get, unlock more powerful skills if you want to. It's you don't have to bang your head up against the wall.
Yeah, and the enemies that are in the levels, like they're almost like fodder.
Yeah, I mean they get harder.
Sure.
Most of them are you can beat them pretty easily. And not to mention you've got the gourd that you can upgrade so you can get your health back, and then you can just rest at a shrine and refill your gourd, refill all your health and everything. So it's definitely the ability to grind for level up points is definitely there. So I do recommend, if you're going to play it, to maybe try to go through the levels on your own the first time, but definitely before you fight the main boss at the end of each level, look up a guide on how to get to all the bosses, because the secret bosses in each area have a special skill that will help you against the final boss of the chapter. So definitely it's worth looking up how to get to the secret bosses before you finish the chapter. Because if you go, you can go back at any time, but if you go back, you're gonna lose who that special power is primarily meant to combat.
Gotcha. Sorry, I actually lost my thought there.
Something about a secret boss?
Yes, how hard? Yes, thank you.
Yep.
How difficult would you say they would be to find without a guide?
Pretty difficult.
Okay.
Some of them. So there are some of them that are somewhat obvious in terms of you'll find stuff in the environment and it's like, okay, I'm clearly doing this or collecting these for a reason. But the game doesn't tell you explicitly, hey, you're collecting these to fight this boss. And it doesn't say, hey, this is how many you have to collect before you have all of them. And it doesn't say, this is where you have to use them to fight the boss. So it's, you probably, if you explore a lot, you'll come across it if you're exploring and paying attention. But you just have to know that, like, there's a boss in the first chapter that you can't even fight until you get an item in the second chapter. And you'd have to know, I think, that you have to backtrack for some of the bosses. It's a little
Okay.
Some of the stuff's a little obscure. Some of them, yeah, you would come across it. You would say, okay, I've been collecting these for a while, and then you know, there's some backtracking anyway
Just kneel
within
at a
the
certain
chapter.
spot.
Yeah, so
with the
like you
pendant.
pretty much, yeah. But there's one specific one that I'm thinking of in the first chapter that I think would be pretty. What you would have to do is say there's a certain kind. Well, I'm trying to avoid spoilers here.
No. You
There's
don't have to. You don't have to. Don't worry
No,
about
no,
it.
no, no. I have to because I don't want to spoil it for anybody that's listening. There's a certain kind of boss that exists in each chapter. And so to find the one in the first chapter, I think you would basically just have to make the connection that, oh, I found a boss like this in the second chapter. There's probably one in the first chapter too, so let me go back and do something similar to what I had to do in the second chapter and see if there's a boss there. So there's enough context clues that you probably could find it without a guide, but they are pretty obscure.
Okay. I mean, really, it sounds obscure. Kind of reminds me of, not to bring up another Ninja Gaiden colleague or whatever you want to call it, Devil May Cry. The secret levels in that were like that, where you'd have to go back to a certain room somewhere in the castle.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to enter through a specific way, and then you'd enter the bonus stage.
Yeah, there's some of that here too.
Okay.
Yeah, and like one of the special items that you have to find to fight some of these bosses is hidden in a similar way. So again, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but some of them are pretty obscure, where you could definitely find them by chance, but if you didn't find it by chance when you were first going through that area, it would be tougher to know that you have to go back and find it afterwards.
Wow.
But it's it definitely rewards exploration and looking at every sort of nook and cranny of the level.
I think that actually sold the game for me more. The fact that there's like sort of puzzles in it and stuff too.
Oh yeah. There's some neat secrets in this game for sure.
I wish it was Steam Deck compatible.
Yeah, I don't know if it would work on the deck or not.
It says unsupported.
Well, that doesn't really mean anything.
I know that
Which
means
game?
nothing,
Yeah.
but Black Myth.
I would think it would struggle on the deck because A, it's gorgeous, and B, you gotta be pretty precise the combat in the game. It requires some precision, and so it's not a game you would want a lot of slowdown in.
Gotcha.
Looking on
Go ahead,
Proton DB, it's got a gold. You got to put the settings down, of course, but as long as you're playing on low with FSR enabled, looks like you shouldn't dip below 40 FPS. Yeah. So you have to do some settings, but I guess it's doable.
That would be fine for me, but I'm obviously my brain is broken. So, I mean, worst case scenario, Steam's got a pretty flexible return policy, right? As long as you don't put 2 hours in.
Yep.
So
yeah, it lets you just return it.
But anyway, so I played Black Ops, I played Wukong, played the game that I can't talk about. I did play a little more Skies of Arcadia. I finished the second area, and I'm in the third. The second Gigas I finished, and now I'm in the third area. What else did I play? I think. Monster Hunter Wilds, which I already mentioned, in which I don't intend to play any more of that beta. I'm sold, so I'm just waiting for end of February. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. I'll try to go through this as quickly as possible. So the embargo's finally up on Horizon Remastered. It's very pretty. It's worth the $10 upgrade. It is very hard to go back to Horizon. Just because of the traversal that the second game introduced, and like the glider and all of the quality of life stuff from the second game, makes going back to that first game kind of rough. But it is very pretty. It also makes my PlayStation go banana sandwich. Which is becoming a common thing. I almost feel like PlayStation's kind of like Apple now. Like, we're gonna make your old expensive thing run like hell because we want you to buy the new one that's twice as much. I'm also playing Lego Horizon, but I can't talk about that until I think like the 13th or something. I can't remember. So I'll talk about that in the coming weeks. And then I have another embargo that is up currently, which is, man, I've had this game so long that I forgot it wasn't out, and I forgot when the embargo started, but I've been playing Slitterhead for almost a month.
Dang. Wow, okay. So,
wow, okay, alright, so...
That's that great, alright.
What's the next game, Ken?
It's got a cool concept. It's got some.
No. I'm
going through. I like to make a compliment sandwich. You know, so it's got a cool concept. The music is fire. I mean, it's Yamaoka. I mean, how are you not going to enjoy the music? But it's just kind of doesn't mesh with, like, all the pieces are there. They just don't come together. So it is very reminiscent of like really weird horror games from the 360 PS3 era where you're playing as this entity who like shows up in Tokyo. It basically looks like Ghostwire Tokyo, a lot of neon, a lot of wet streets kind of thing. And you can basically possess any person in the world. Think of like Geist. Yeah, I'm pulling a deep cut there. You can basically possess any person. You can't possess items, so that's a different thing. And when you possess people, like, you can, traverse the world, do the exploration. Eventually you get into combat, which is a very stiff, like, lock-on, dodge, parry kind of combat. It's kind of cool that you can switch between people when you're in combat, so, like, you can reset your health, things like that. certain people that you possess are like special kinds of people, and they have powers that unlock when you possess them. So, like, I'm sure you remember the trailer where they possessed one person, they grew like these big freaking Freddy Krueger claws or whatever, and like slicing people up. So there's certain people in the game that that's what happens. You like refill your health by like holding down one of the bumpers, and like it like draws all the blood from like the enemy. I don't know, it just feels weird. Also, it's really gross. Like
in a good way, or
like the enemy designs are very much like, what am I trying to think of? Like, imagine if Silent Hill was mixed with The Thing. Like,
oh god,
yeah,
okay.
it's kind of disturbing at some point. That dude, the second level kicks off with a cutscene where these two people are having sex. I mean, it is graphic. And then like her head splits in half, and this big like tentacle monster comes out of her head, and she like eats the dude's face.
That's Christ!
I was just like, what are we doing?
Damn! Alright.
The story is interesting. There's definitely some weird twists that happen kind of towards the end of the game. But I don't know, man. It just did not come together the way I was hoping it would. And like, I kind of got bored playing it. Like, I don't know. Like, it's literally just the possession and the combat, and I'm just like, I don't know. This just didn't.
That sucks because it looked cool.
It's
Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass, so check it out. Like, it's worth like a I'm gonna check this out kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, don't pay the $50 for it. Like, I definitely don't think it's worth $50.
Got you.
So, excuse me. We already talked about Call of Duty. We talked about Dragon Age. We did not talk about the Ode to Castlevania DLC for Vampire Survivors, which is fucking amazing.
Oh, I haven't played it.
So, it's another level. It's not like an adventure like most of the DLC is. So it's a brand new level. And as you play through it, eventually you get into Dracula's castle. And inside of his castle, like, you can unlock things that unlock other areas of the castle, and you fight bosses. It is so good.
Game is batshit.
Dude.
Like, Vampire Survivors, for the amount of content and the amount you pay.
Yeah, I think I paid $3.50 for this DLC.
Yeah, it's absurd.
But no, if you have any love for Vampire Survivors, in which case you probably have love for Castlevania, buy this DLC. Like 110%. It's so good. And the music, of course, is amazing. Any of the indie stuff stick out to me this week? I played Redacted, Terrence.
And you loved it?
It looks really good, but I think combat feels like crap.
Okay, so it's like what's the Callisto Protocol? Yeah, looked really good.
I literally thought I was playing the Callisto Protocol from a top-down perspective because it's like the same looking dude with the same looking enemies.
Nice.
But like, I don't know, the melee combat just feels really like clunky and slow. Like, I don't like it at all.
Mm-hmm. Like in the Callisto Protocol. I wasn't a fan.
I basically played Vampire Survivors if it was a first-person shooter. Oh, that reminds me, the Ode to Castlevania.
Oh, is that Vampire Hunters game?
Yes.
Okay, I thought that's what that was.
It's terrible.
I figured.
It's very terrible. But going back to Castlevania, Ode to Castlevania for Vampire Survivors, there's a level that is side-scrolling.
Ooh.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was fun. I was like, Vampire Survivors is so much harder as a side-scroller because the enemies don't have to abide by it, but you do.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, that was hard.
I'm gonna have to get this on PC because, like I said, I haven't bought Vampire Survivors. I'm gonna buy it so I can play it on Steam Deck.
I booted up the new Real Fishing. What the fuck?
Is it anime as shit?
It's anime as shit, and like you have this conversation for
Question
like.
Question for you. What does the menus look like?
What does the menus
look like? Does it look like Persona still?
No, it looks like
okay. Because the last one did.
It looks like every generic visual novel that you've seen. It looks like that. I'm not even shitting. It's a visual novel before you go fishing.
How you make a anime fishing game? Like it's legit anime? Like it's called real fishing, but it's an anime.
Well,
It's anime.
It's not real fishing.
Oh,
it's
REE.
Yes, like real. You play on words. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. That's still all right.
But yeah, and it's made by Natsume, so it's anime as fuck.
Oh, yeah, it is.
There's a game I really wanted to play. It's called Deepest Trench. It is like an underwater, third person like adventure game, and I wanted to play it. It's even got a co-op mode, but you can't invert the axis. Excuse me. So I couldn't really play it, which is a shame. Also, it's like jank as fuck, because like if you go in the menus, you can set the resolution like a PC game.
What the heck? Oh, so they didn't do they didn't port it right.
No, it literally has like detail, high, medium, low, resolution.
Yep.
Speaking of games that weren't coded correctly, I also booted up a game called Hannah, which is like a Little Nightmares type horror adventure game. And as soon as the game starts, your character's laying on the ground. You know how it says like move left stick to move? It literally said WASD to move. I was like,
come on, guys. We didn't put this through QA. What are we doing?
You didn't like notice that there's no keyboard on the fucking Xbox? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, I didn't think that game was all that cool. And that's it. That's all I can talk about, at least right now. A lot of video games right now, man. A lot of video
games. Yep. I got the takedowns. Sorry,
you got the what?
I'm doing this. I got the takedowns now. We just got the takedowns in Dragon Age.
The takedowns.
Yeah, the finishing moves, man. The click right. You're the one that told us about them.
I was like, dude, that was a long time ago.
This is a professional podcast. This is
no, it's not
100% professional. Anthony. Well, never mind. Well, I'll talk to you about it later.
Let's talk about that's coming out this week that you might want to play. Empire of the Ants, which we talked about. Hell Let Loose. Let's Sing 2025. Metal Slug Tactics, which is another game that I know we haven't talked about, but we will.
It's embargoed. Yep.
Slitterhead, which embargo literally ends at like 6 hours before this podcast goes live? It's like 3 o'clock in the morning or some shit. It's fucking so stupid. Planet Coaster 2 is out this week. Slavic Punk Old Timer. Bioframe Outpost. Goat Simulator Remastered, because we definitely needed a remaster of that. Magical Bakery.
That's why they're taking Goat Simulator off Game Pass.
Yeah, most likely. Shield...
I wondered.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Shield Wall, Taiko no Tatsujin, Rhythm Festival, Tectonica. Here's one I'm really excited for this week. Atari 50, the first console war, so it's the second DLC for Atari 50. Elderborn, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, I'm assuming that's like a physical copy. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions Deluxe Edition, and then Slitterhead again for the people. They actually have a deluxe edition for this game? What the get the fuck out of here.
For Slitterhead or for the Harry Potter one?
For Slitterhead.
Oh, because I was more surprised about the Harry Potter one.
You want to hear the craziest thing I heard this week? You know that Croc remaster's coming. There's a special edition of that, like a collector's edition. It's $130.
Holy.
I'm like, I love Croc, but I don't love Croc.
Yeah, they want somebody that loves Croc.
Although I do give him credit. I don't know if you saw the soundtrack CD that I posted in Discord. It's like a spoof of Nirvana's Nevermind with the Croc swimming towards the dollar bill.
Yes.
I think that was
that's pretty neat.
I thought that was a joke.
No, that was real.
Yeah, no, it's legit.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right, PlayStation 5, pretty much the same stuff. Although the PlayStation 5 Pro is out on the 7th, so if you pre-ordered it, make sure your credit card is cool because it's about to get a $700, $800 charge on it.
Woo, baby.
Whew. What else we got for place? Death Note: The Killer Within. That's the one that's coming to PS Plus, right? The online game.
Yes, it is. It actually looks like it might be. I don't know if it'll last long because it's an online only, but it seems kind of interesting. It's like a Among Us type, social deduction type multiplayer game.
The hottest releases this week: Hunt and Fight action RPG.
Oh, okay.
Run from Mummies.
Can't wait for that one.
Metro Awakening VR. Phantom Brave, the Bermuda Triangle remastered. The Bermuda Triangle, really? What are we doing? Anything? Limpo. Nahelback's Dungeon Master. Somebody correct my pronunciation of that.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I've played their first game, but that sounds right.
Shim. I don't know what that is.
How do you spell it?
SCHIM.
I think that's the
Shim.
physical edition.
Okay.
That's the game where you jump between the shadows.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's the one you played?
Yes. Dude, I don't remember the names of these games. Are you fucking crazy?
Well, I thought Anthony played it.
Oh, no.
I thought that was what
No,
he
I
was
never
excited
played
for.
it. No, I was following the dev. I still.
That's
haven't
what it was. You were following the dev.
Yeah. Totally Spies Cyber Mission. I think I got a code for that this week in the indies, as well as the code for the new Neptunia game for Xbox. I didn't play either, just so you know.
Did you accept the code for Totally Spies?
I mean, I just redeemed them all. I don't pay attention except for the ones that I don't own, which, by the way, I still have a code for Clock Tower if anybody wants it.
I bought it. I bought it on
okay.
Steam.
I have it. I think I booted it up for like 10 minutes.
Totally Spies might not be awful. That cartoon actually wasn't bad.
Dude, come on.
My kids used to watch that.
I booted up the Bluey game this week just to see what it is. Don't play the Bluey game.
What the heck is Bluey?
It's a cartoon the kids watch.
Oh,
Wasn't planning on playing it. Thank you.
Yeah, don't play it. I don't download these. I just boot them up on cloud gaming. That's literally what I use cloud gaming for. I was like, I want to see what this game is.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. So you don't have to waste no time, especially I'm just trying it out.
Yeah, just see what it is. Because sometimes, like that Paw Patrol, like Mario Kart clone was actually not bad. I wouldn't play it regularly, but it wasn't bad. PlayStation 4, Xbox One. I don't think we're going to see anything here going forward. Poncho's Mission is on here. PlayStation 4. What do we got? Dyna Blaster. I don't know what that is. I don't know if I care what that is. Nintendo Switch. Tinkertown. Tobla Divine Path. Duck Run. Monarchy. Owl Project. Angel at Dusk. Broken Sword. Shadow of the Templars. Reforged. Bubble Riders. Economics. Egg Console. XAK2 PC8801 MK2 SR. Do people buy these things?
Fuck. Somebody must be.
Oh shit, Ryan, sequel to your favorite game. Hentai Waifu 2 is out this week.
Oh shit.
Magical Baker. Oh, we already talked about that. There's a game coming out for the Nintendo Switch.
I've been waiting for a while.
I know.
I was just about to say he just left the chat in excitement. He was like,
yeah, he's like, shit, I gotta go pre-order.
Yeah.
Anthony, are you back? I need you here for one of these games. I need you here.
He's not back.
Okay, I'll come back to those. Mario and Luigi Brothership is out this week. I'm excited for that.
It looks fun. I saw that apparently it's been on the torrent scene for forever.
The review copies, the review embargoes tomorrow. By the way, Inside Baseball for PR stuff, because I know we've had questions about this before. Nintendo only allows certain outlets now to have games early ever since the 3DS debacle where somebody leaked it. That didn't seem to work because people were still leaking it.
See?
But we were one of the outlets that got, like, we get codes day of. So we don't get Nintendo codes early. We haven't for years. So, like, unfortunately, we can't review games before they come out for Nintendo. Which is why actually like review Nintendo games a lot of times, just because like, I mean, you get the game like on release day, and then your review's like forever late. Like my Dragon Age review is gonna be super late because I didn't get a code till release day.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I didn't get that crazy NDA that I saw floating around, that fake one about how you're not allowed to talk about certain things.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Like, that's funny. Party Time 3, Popcorn Rocket, Rally Racing Drift 2024, River City Saga 3 Kingdoms Next, Symmetrical Logic Puzzles 1000, The Alchemist of Ars Magna, The Nightmare Journey, Virche Evermore Epic Lycoris.
Okay.
Say that 3
God
times
bless
fast. Candivity, Caveheart, The Legacy of the Depths, Jetpack Kiwi, Flight Simulator Deluxe, Sinabi, Sugaminia, Survive Undead Rush, Sweet Survivors.
You saying real words?
Yes. Oh, good, you're back.
Yeah, he's back.
I have a game that I need to say in a second. Triggerheart Excelica, which I like that game. It's a good game. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger Bush Rescue Bundle. And Anthony, there's a game coming out for the Nintendo Switch this week. It's all one word, all capitals. It's called Miyamoto. I need to know what this is.
Oh,
It's Miyamoto the game.
The description says it is a beautifully styled Japanese-themed card game. Build your deck with cards earned after each battle.
Okay, so you're not going to play it.
No. I just want to know why it's called Miyamoto. Why just make a game called Miyamoto? It's so funny to me.
I don't know. It seems just like it's a Japanese name that they chose.
Like, but like, pick a different one. Like, fucking Miyamoto.
Right. That's a well-known. Well, I guess that makes sense though. Why? You know what? That may be why. You know, people gonna buy that. Like, oh, I love that guy. Pick this game up and get home and be like, what the fuck? This ain't got no plants. This ain't got no Mario. What is this? So yeah.
All right.
Marketing.
We're gonna do some news now. PlayStation shut down 2 studios this week. And Jeff Keighley could not say the word PlayStation in his tweet about it.
It's in his agreement.
They shut down Neon Koi, which was a German mobile studio, and Firewalk Studios, which did Concord. Man, I need to see the Netflix documentary about fucking Concord.
I can wait. What? Is that coming?
No. Like Netflix makes a documentary about everything. Like I need them to do this one.
Hell yeah, because I'm very curious.
Did any of you watch the Where Are the Games parody song?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I posted earlier today.
The one that you said?
It keeps bringing up the fact that Concord cost $400 million.
Dude, how do you spend that much time and that much money on a game that you closed 2 weeks after it came out?
Right. Yeah, like
and then fire everybody.
Give it a chance. Like I mean, I guess you gave it kind of a chance, but I mean, damn, like I don't know. That is just crazy, and I'm so curious what their episode is going to be about on this secret level anime. Because
I can't wait for the discourse to be like, "Wow, this is a cool story. Can we get a game?" Oh,
yep. That'll be what it is too.
All right. Sony has also confirmed that fuck you. The PlayStation 5 Slim plates that you bought for the Slim don't work on the PS5 Pro, even though they're exactly the same size. They just changed the connections.
That sounds like Sony.
That's fucked up, dude.
It really is.
That's fucked up.
Really is.
Like, they're literally the same size.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
What the hell, man? I don't know if you guys have bought those plates, though. They're expensive.
No, I never changed mine.
I think they're like $60 or something.
Damn.
I gotta look this up now.
I never had any desire to change mine.
Plates.
The purple ones I think I saw, that was cool. Like I thought about it, but I never actually pulled the trigger on them. But $60, fuck that.
$59 on PlayStation Direct for plates for your PlayStation 5.
Nah, I'm cool.
And they're like, fuck you. You spent $700, you want some plates? Give me 60 more, bitches.
Right. Yeah, Sony just don't give a fuck, man.
No, they really don't. It's crazy. PlayStation Plus Essential Games for November were announced, which is Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, Ghostwire Tokyo, which is fucking hilarious to me, and Death Note: The Killer Within. Like, Ghostwire is so funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive.
I still haven't played Ghostwire. I own it on like a couple different things because I got it for free. Is it worth playing?
Yeah, it's a fun
like
game. It's
it.
not long.
Knowing what you know about what kind of games I enjoy, is it worth playing?
Mm.
You know what? I think so because you are.
It's a horror
completionist.
game, though.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. No, yeah, you probably shouldn't play it. Like
Yeah.
it has all the stuff checks your boxes, but it's a horror game first and foremost. So
Got it.
yeah,
All right,
because it does
probably
have
avoid
like,
it for now then.
and it has a pretty good story. I liked it.
I like
thought it
that
was
game.
pretty
It's
good.
not long. It's
No.
weird because like it just kind of ends.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was like expecting there to be like another 3 or 4 hours to the game, and it's just like, nope, that's it.
Nope. Yeah, but
That's the end.
it's pretty cool.
Maybe one day, since I've got it anyway, I'll check it out. But yeah, it doesn't sound like it's up my alley.
Yeah, I mean, it does have all the open world box shit that you love, but it is a horror game.
Yeah, I
Got
forgot about that you don't fuck with horror at all.
I don't know.
Nintendo being Nintendo just said, fuck it, on a Tuesday or whenever this happened, we're going to announce the Xenoblade Chronicles Wii game for Switch.
That was funny.
It just dropped it on Twitter. It's out on March 20th.
So I've never played that game. I've heard
People
nothing.
love that fucking game.
That's what I've heard. I've
Yeah.
heard nothing but good things about it. But I saw a lot of people were talking like you said, they were like, "This is how you announce it." Like,
Yeah.
just drop it.
Dude,
out
this
of
is
nowhere.
I kid you not. This game is literally like a one last thing on a Nintendo Direct. That's how big it is.
Wow.
And they
Yeah.
just drop it on Twitter.
That's crazy. Yeah, I have never. All right.
Speaking of weird Nintendo decisions, they also added Shadow Man and Turok 2 to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. Like, both of those games are available in remasters that are better.
I was just about to say.
Like,
I know
way
Shadow
better.
Man is because I reviewed it. I couldn't remember if Turok 2 was. I
Yeah.
was like, why did they put? Who's playing that?
Yeah. Like, just buy the Night Dive versions, which are on sale like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo's weird. Nintendo also announced the Nintendo Music app for your phone. If you have NSO, you can listen to it. That thing's
It was
awesome.
cool.
That thing is awesome.
It had the menu music from the Wii Shop.
Doesn't
I
it
was
like?
vibing
Isn't it
out.
like 45 minutes long too?
No, it's it. Oh, actually, you know it is long. Yeah, it is. It's long as hell. Like
Dude.
it, of course, it loops. Like, but it's dope. I was like, oh shit, this takes me back.
I was waiting on somebody to pop up their app and like play it. Because who doesn't love?
Well, Ryan got us covered. But yeah, that beat is. But so my only like, because it's cool, and I'm assuming that this is like a starting point for them because it's missing like a lot of old music, like a lot of like the Pokemon old music. Like the only Pokemon game in there is like Violet and Scarlet, like the new ones. So I'm hoping that they're going to go back and add some more of this stuff. But it's dope. It's literally just Spotify for Nintendo music, which is super cool.
I'm amazed nobody's tried to make a hip hop song over top of the Wii Shop music.
Wow. You know what? Me too.
I mean, people just made that Hotline Bling remix.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
You can kind of hear it. It's kind of coming through. I hear you trying to play it. I hear it's kind of coming through.
I can't
hear enough.
All right. Nintendo also apparently laid off some people, but the spokesperson said they had nothing to say about it. I heard
Okay.
the rumor was that they did the same thing Bandai Namco did, where
Oh,
They just put him in a room with nothing to do.
Okay.
What the
Gotcha.
fuck are we doing, man?
That's so so. Like, if those people choose to continue to come into work every day and just sit in this room and do nothing, they can do that. Like,
Dude, give me that job.
right? Like, I guess it's because culturally, I don't know. I guess that's dishonorable or something. I don't know. That's obviously, not for them. But hell, man, are you serious? Like,
Okay.
hell.
So I'm going to explain an anger I don't necessarily hold anymore, but back when I started on this podcast, I was a pretty vocal Kojima hater, and I still hate some of his bullshit, but like, he impressed me with Death Stranding. I thought that game was going to be way more nonsensical than it was. But I was angry because a lot of people were like, well, Kojima's being treated poorly by Konami. But like, that happened to Koji Igarashi. That, like, he was the one that got treated poorly, because before they put you in the room where you do nothing, they move you to a project that they know you don't want to work on. So they moved him to mobile division.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. He had to make like dating game things. And
So
when I
they
say mobile,
force you
I
to
don't
quit.
necessarily, basically, yeah. And
Yeah.
they don't. When I say mobile, like, I mean like flip phones to some extent. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Huh.
All right. Xbox news time. Microsoft has started testing a new UI for the Xbox app on Windows, including a jump back in section. Please be excited. Brian Horton, who was the creative director on Insomniac's upcoming Marvel's Wolverine, is now the creative director on Microsoft's Perfect Dark. Like, what? Okay.
What? Okay.
Xbox fiscal year gaming revenue grew 43%. Again, why do we have to put the asterisk that this came from ABK? I don't know if you know this, but they own
They
ABK.
own it. Like, yeah, why are they still doing that? Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we own them.
Like, that's theirs, guys. Content and services grew 61%, 53% from ABK. It's the same fucking company.
Jesus.
Although Xbox hardware revenue declined 29%, which is lower than I thought it would be. According to Satya Nadella, Black Ops 6 did pretty good. Last week's launch of Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty release ever, setting a record for day one players as well as Game Pass subscriber add-ons launch day. Jesus Christ. Well, I guess it did what it was supposed to do.
Yep.
Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl will support mods on Xbox Series consoles. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will run at 60 frames per second on both series consoles. And Halo Infinite, Operation Great Journey. Man, machine games are wizards. Just go there. Bunch of new Halo Infinite stuff that nobody's going to pay attention to.
Yeah, nobody cares about that anymore.
That's crazy. I used to be a Halo fan, and I never even finished the campaign of that game. I don't, man.
I finished the campaign. I'll spoil something for you. The last mission is exactly like every last mission of every Halo game ever.
Wow.
It's annoying as shit.
Yeah.
It is though a good game. I enjoyed that game.
It's a great game, yeah.
But the last mission is annoying as shit.
I still have flashbacks of the driving the Warthog out. Oh wait, which Halo was that? All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
The Halo always, they've never been able to craft a more interesting final mission than we're just going to throw 1.5 million enemies at you all at once. That's the only thing they've ever been able to do for a final mission in a Halo game ever. So that's what you get here too.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind got a release date, December 10th. Fucking Lollipop Chainsaw Repop is getting an original soundtrack DLC on PC. Glover is coming in 2025 to everything. Not a lot of news going on there. What we got here? Koei Tecmo said that they are focusing on in-house development and self-publishing of all their games. Yakuza Kiwami is selling like crazy on Nintendo Switch. We talked about that Killer 7 update last week. Fortnite is apparently getting rid of individual pass currencies. Everything will progress simultaneously with XP from every activity. I don't know what any of that means. I'm not a Fortnite player.
So it just means that it's similar to what Call of Duty is doing. So it just means that whatever mode you play, you're going to earn experience that's going to go towards a battle pass. So like if you play Call of Duty, if you play zombies or multiplayer or campaign, if you level up guns, I don't know if campaign you actually level up the guns. I don't think you do. But zombies and multiplayer is all, whatever gun you use, whatever levels, it all carries over. So they're just doing the same thing over in Fortnite, which is nice.
Did we talk about the Oregon Trail movie?
We did
last week.
I couldn't remember if we talked about that last week. Bungie released an update on Marathon saying the game is on track, but it's not ready to show. Shocker.
Yeah, I'm still not confident that game's ever coming out.
Me either.
Especially after all like the changes inside of Bungie, which now has been swallowed by the PlayStation machine.
Yep. And this Marathon game is a multiplayer game. Isn't it like hero shooter? Did they just close the studio down for this?
Yes,
Like,
they did.
Maybe we should scrap
this. They
sure
did. They sure did.
Yeah, PlayStation is like learning really fast that like number one, their single player games are not sustainable. For like, what was it? Spider-Man 2 cost like $230 million or something, sold 12 million copies. It's not gonna cut it. It's just, and then Concord comes out in the last 2 weeks because like nobody played it because I don't know, nobody wants a new hero shooter.
Right.
True story.
Like, y'all motherfuckers are going to be playing Apex or Overwatch or something that already exists and is free.
Marvel Rifles. I forgot. I do want that. I am going to play Marvel Rifles.
The Monster Hunter Wilds beta surpassed 463,000 concurrent players on Steam.
Wow.
Not a surprise, but yeah, the game is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I saw it's going to have crossplay and stuff too. So, I mean, multiplayer. Oh, I'm excited, man. That game plays so good. Oh, man, I can't wait. That plays so good. It
definitely plays excellently.
Bunch of games leaving Game Pass, so if you want to play them, now's the time. Dicey Dungeons, Persona 5 Tactica, Like a Dragon Ishin, Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, Goat Simulator, Dungeons 4, and Somerville.
Shoot.
I'm disappointed a little bit in Like a Dragon Ishin, but that's one of those games that I started to play, and then I thought, I'll go back to this after I finish some other stuff, and then never went back to it. So I can't really complain too much, I guess.
I guess Snoop Dogg was in Fortnite.
He is this season,
what
which
isn't Snoop Dogg in?
This is true. Yeah. But I mean,
he was at the fucking
he
Olympics.
Gets checked. Yeah, he is about his bag. So like this season is weird. But anyways, Eminem, Snoop, and Ice Spice, and it's so funny because the little tweet they put something like, yeah, Fortnite Islands are taken over by hip hop legends. And I'm like, damn, I must be old because when the fuck did Ice Spice become a hip hop legend? What? Like, what are we doing?
Dude, I've literally never heard a song by Ice Spice.
Exactly. And I can't name a song. I can't even like.
Dude,
my kids would have to say it.
Like, I'm 100% like old man yelling at cloud. Like, I hear all these new artists, and I hear people like talk a lot about some dude named Jelly Roll. And like, I don't even know what kind of music that is.
Man, listen.
Country.
Is it?
He doesn't look like a country artist.
He used to do hip hop, I think, but he's a country artist now.
He literally
his
looks.
Name is Jelly Roll.
He's a large fellow.
Oh, okay.
Fellow. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's why then. All right.
But he has literally he's covered in tattoos. He does not look like a country music star.
Well, country music star looks a lot different. I mean, technically speaking, Post Malone is a country star now, so.
Yes, he is. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Brother, listen, we're old.
Using hip-hop to get into the industry and then changing genres.
Thank you.
Pretty much,
and that is a like a problem with the purest hip hop heads that the industry just getting infiltrated. I mean, because let me stop. That's a different podcast. We got to get to the show, Anthony, because that's a different podcast. But go ahead. But yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening anymore. BioWare has confirmed that there are no DLC plans for Dragon Age: The Veilguard, so their full attention is now shifted entirely to the next Mass Effect.
That's weird. Didn't all the other ones have at least one bit of story DLC?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, no DLC for this.
I don't remember if Inquisition had story DLC or not. It probably did.
I think it did. I thought it did. Maybe it did.
I heard
the first two definitely had multiple DLCs.
Yeah.
I heard a conversation
era,
the other day that really, really, really made sense to me. Was talking about single player games and DLC, because this feels like a leftover byproduct of the 360 PS3 generation, where developers were constantly trying to get you to not sell their sell their games back used.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
And now, what is it? Xbox is at 90%, PlayStation's at 70 or 80%, and Nintendo, is still at 60% of digital is their main sales. So there's no reason for people to worry about. And who the hell is keeping a 100 gig game on their hard drive for 6 months until the DLC comes out?
Right?
No, it's a good point.
So
that is a bygone era at this point.
You feel like it's better to just move on and build something new that you can sell as new and not have to how do I play this game? What happened in the story? Kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think we see less and less DLC going forward. So Yoshi P of Square Enix said in an interview that Square Enix games will release simultaneously on Xbox going forward.
Hell yeah.
He also said he's not a fan of remakes/remasters, but it's important that classics like Vagrant Story and Final Fantasy Tactics are available on modern systems.
So we're getting a remake of Vagrant Story and Final Fantasy Tactics.
Remaster.
Cool. Thank you. Remaster, excuse me. That's fine, because Vagrant Story is dope. I could do without Final Fantasy Tactics. It's okay.
No, don't say that out loud.
Well, I like Final Fantasy Tactics, but you can also already get Final Fantasy Tactics on mobile, right?
Yeah,
so
that's where I have it too.
It's not like it's unavailable.
Right.
Granted, not everybody wants to play games like that on mobile, but it is available.
A Vagrant Story you can't find anywhere unless you
unless you shmemulate
it. Yeah.
All right. Jeremy, we'll go to the tweets. That's all the news I got. Jeremy writes in and says, "Hey guys, since politics is all the rage right now, who are you voting for Game of the Year?" Haha.
Ha!
Oh, for Game of the Year.
For Game of the Year. He says, "So far, my game is Dragon's Dogma 2. Although if I would have played Baldur's Gate 3 last year, it definitely would have been my GOTY in 23. Thanks for the show, guys."
Yeah, so it's still a tight race for Game of the Year for me. I don't know where I'm going to end up with some of the other games that I still have yet to play. Right now, I think Helldivers 2 is my Game of the Year. With Dragon's Dogma and Wukong probably right behind it. But it's I won't know until I sit down and actually start filling out my Game of the Year ballot.
Was Dragon's Dogma this year?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
In April.
Well, shit. All right. Yeah. I don't know what mine is. I guess mine is still a toss up. But Dragon's Dogma would be on there. Man. I don't know. What do you got? What do you got, Anthony? Okay, he's gone. All right. Sandland was this year?
Yep.
Jesus
What was
Christ,
this
I
year?
played so much stuff. My God.
Speaking of which, Sandland right now on Fanatical, you can get a Steam key for $26.
Oh, nice.
Sandland was this year?
It's a good game.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I played so much stuff this year.
This ain't even a question for me. It's fucking Final Fantasy or Astrobot. One of those two.
Yeah, I still haven't played Astrobot. That's another one I need to pick up before the end of the year.
Was Final Fantasy 16
No,
this year?
that was last year.
That was last year? Okay. All right.
DLC was this year.
That's what it was.
I'm talking
All
about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, I know which one. Yeah, you're talking about the Rebirth.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably that or Astrobot. I'm gonna have to debate that because I love both of those games so much.
Helldivers is high on mine. That game is really good.
Man, Prince of
even though I
Persia
don't
is
play
gonna
it
be
all
up
the
there.
time.
Prince of Persia is gonna be in my top 5, easy.
That's going to be on my list for sure because that's really good, and it's a shame we won't see a sequel. You people not buying it, damn.
All right. Shogun tweets in and says, "Can't wait for Tuesday to be over so I can keep playing COD."
Everybody making their jokes today.
Yeah. I mean, but this goes live. We'll literally be like 24 hours out from this, and man, I can't. I was telling my wife yesterday.
Wait.
Well, I was telling my wife yesterday, like this is gonna be like the worst week in history for like news. It's just gonna be so bad.
Yep.
I do not look. I look forward to this being over, but I do not look forward to this week. Like,
no one's gonna be happy.
No,
no matter how this ends, like it's yeah. Oh my god,
it's gonna be a mess this week for sure. Ken often talks about his TV setup, but I'm curious, what do you guys use for your audio setups? I'm using a 5.1 receiver with subwoofer, but I'm thinking about switching to just a soundbar and some wireless speakers.
So I have what he has. I have a 5.1. And I actually am thinking about doing a soundbar too. So when it comes to like the audio and really the video too, that's why I have such a big screen. Like I like my stuff to be pristine, and I like thump, and that maybe just be because I'm a black man. I mean, I
love
boom.
the bass. I like the boom.
Okay, you like that bass too. All right. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so I like my room to shake. So my only downside with the soundbar is I haven't heard any that has a good bass output, but I know that one that you reviewed.
Yeah, that's the one I keep
shaking. That's
the one that's I got hooked up right now. Like I can shake the house at like 6.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna have to. That might be the move for me.
That thing is expensive,
I might get that.
Though.
Okay, see, that's
it's $1,000.
Nah, well, I have to wait.
To answer his question, that's what I use. I use a TCL soundbar. It's called the Q85H, I think. It has 2 surround speakers in the back. It has the bar up front, which that bar, you could kill a motherfucker with that thing.
Oh, is it that heavy?
It's huge and it's heavy. And then it's got the subwoofer, which booms. Although I hate that the subwoofer is open, like there's nothing covering it.
Oh, that's the new thing.
Yeah,
that's the new. Yeah,
which I don't understand because I face it towards the wall, so I don't see it anyway. So like, why is it uncovered? I don't know, but it's very loud. And then I also have a killer headset that I use for certain games.
My sound setup is whatever speakers are included in the television.
Wombat over here playing television speakers at 20 frames a second.
Right. What are you doing, man? What?
Man, I just don't. I've never been a sound guy.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's not something that's like a nitpick of mine or anything like that. I have trouble hearing shit anyway. So as long as it's loud enough for me to hear it, and I can read the subtitles, I'm good.
Gotcha.
I'm not a. I do end up playing a lot of my stuff with headphones on, not just so I can hear it better, but also because it keeps anybody else from having to hear what I'm playing if they're trying to watch something else. But I have Beats in-ear headphones that I use with my PlayStation, and I have a Turtle Beach headset that I also use with my PlayStation when I'm playing Helldivers or whatever, or doing this podcast. Actually, it's the same headset.
Nice.
And then I don't have a headset that's compatible with my Xbox because Xbox is a bitch about headset equipment.
Doesn't support the Bluetooth stuff, yeah.
No, yeah. So I've got like I said, that set of Beats and this Turtle Beach headset that I use across basically all of my stuff. I use the same Beats in-ear headphones with my Steam Deck as well.
I'm gonna have to put this in the chat. So Anthony, before you answer, I just joke with Anthony about his TV because it's an RCA TV. But I picture that Anthony's using the RCA TV with these PC speakers that anybody from our generation will remember.
Oh God.
Yep, definitely had a pair of those. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Like those are set up next to his TV on either side.
Them Harman Kardons.
Yep. With the little knob on, got the little bass tube there for that bass stuff with the speaker. Yeah, that's what I picture Anthony's got next to his TV.
Oh man.
Go ahead, Anthony. I'm just messing with you.
You know the fucking answer. Move on.
You've got the PC speakers. All right, we're good.
No, yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
Oh, shit. So funny. Shogun also says, and to make you feel good, we talked a lot about this game. He says, I wish you guys had got codes for Dragon Age. Well, we did, eventually. I really like that series. I want to play the new game. It looks cool and everything. Has talked about all the things they disagree with design-wise and not the actual game. The deep dives have said that the story is a letdown. Well, hopefully we answered some of your questions, at least from the minimal playtime that we have had with it so far.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? To his point, that was really my thing too, is that all of the discourse is everything about the different stuff that everybody they don't like this and don't like that, but none of it was like about the gameplay and how, combat was good or anything like that. It was crazy.
David tweets at us, says, at an indoor water park having a good time. I'll never understand how parents can let their 6 to 10-year-olds run around and be nowhere in sight. Yeah, I don't get that either. Even though that's how we grew up. I was telling my kid the other day, I was like, yeah, my parents used to drop me off at the front gate of Kings Island when I was like 13.
Yep.
He's like, can I do that? I was like, no.
Yep. Yeah, I tell my kids all the time, like I wasn't ever at home for real. Like once I was walking somewhere, I was always going somewhere, or my mama would drop us off somewhere, and then we, whatever. Like we'd be home by the time night fell. Kids can't do that now. It's crazy.
All right, let's do some emails and get out of here. I saved this email from last week, and it's entitled, Hey, Anthony. It says, what up, short legs? Why do you want to kill off the best new character of this show in years? Stop being miserable Canadian. Hey, buddy, the world needs this character now more than ever. Hey, Mickey, you're our only hope.
Anthony has left the chat. That's what just happened.
To be fair, I let him see this email before we did the show, so he knew it was coming.
Oh man.
Oh shit. Anthony does not like the new character.
He's not a fan.
He sucks.
All right. Daryl writes in and says, hey, where is Drew? For a while, he was blaming his new marriage for not being able to be on Just Too Busy. Come on. I will have been married 30 years coming next year. Holy shit, dude. Congrats.
Wow, yeah.
There's plenty of time to get away for a podcast, even if you aren't playing any games. Believe me, you need to get away sometimes.
That's true. Like, and the only reason I didn't tell him that, because I know he's a new fighter. When it's your first one, you want to be there for everything. I know I did. Like, I want to be there for everything. But yeah, you definitely need some time away.
He says, I know he does Phoenix Down, but I don't follow that. Well, he hasn't done a new episode of that either. What was the last episode of Phoenix Down? Let me pull it up real quick. May 3rd, 2024 was the last episode of Phoenix Down. And it took him 2 months to do that episode because the one before that was March 22nd. So.
Well,
as listening to a playthrough of a game makes more sense watching it if they don't do any video. Stream it, guys. Also, where's Jay? He's hanging out, having fun.
He's around.
By the way, he says, keep up the good work. By the way, aren't you glad you don't work at Fandom? Never good being owned by these conglomerates. Dude, nobody owns me.
Just right. All right. Nobody owns me.
I'm just saying, nobody owns the site except me. I ain't no
Can't
conglomerate.
put baby in a corner. Got you.
Did you say a corner?
I see. So I was hoping that the mic had messed up enough that came out right, because I couldn't remember if the line was corner or what it was, and that's what that was. Thank you for putting me on blast. You're so bad about that. Just
hold on. You
here he
walked
comes.
yourself into
Here
a
he
corner.
comes. Just
What
throwing
the
it
hell
at
were
you.
you gonna
Here we
say?
go.
You weren't sure if it was corner or what.
Jesus Christ! I don't know. I can't remember what the other word. I thought it was going to be.
Baby in the carnage.
Anyways, thank you. If there's anything else, y'all can reach us on the Twitter.
No, there's another email. There's another email. You back up.
Well,
Hold on.
fuck.
All right, this email is entitled "In the Corner." Oh no, I'm kidding.
I hate it here.
He said, this comes from Antonio. It says, despite owning Persona 5 through PlayStation Plus on a deep discount, I can't remember which, I never played more than 15 minutes of it. 3 days ago, I noticed there was a prologue demo of Metaphor and decided to give it a try. 10 hours deep and $70 later, this game is going to be in my top 3 of the year. I'm sorry, Atlas. I wasn't familiar with your game. He says, I already voted via mail, and I'm taking Tuesday and Wednesday off. You know, I was kind of dreading this upcoming week, but I feel more enthusiastic for some reason. Anyways, good luck, everybody, and everybody, I specifically mean Kamala. Oh, it's
I want to play that Metaphor game, like, really bad, because I played the demo, and it's really good. I liked Persona, loved Persona, but, like, everybody was saying that's like a 100-hour game, and I don't
Every Atlas game is like a 100-hour game.
Yeah, I can't. There's no way. So, man.
There's no room in my life for you.
No.
But there is room in the corner.
I hate it here so much. God dang it.
Sounds like you're from Minnesota. Like, put him in the corner.
Okay, my bad. I don't even know what the other word was.
I don't know. What's
honestly
funny about it is I'm trying to figure out what the fuck you thought it was.
In the car? No, it wasn't the car. I honestly can't think of what it was, but that's why it came out fucked up.
Nobody puts baby in the kart racer.
Nobody puts baby in the carpet.
I hate it here.
Anyway, that's all the emails. That's all the tweets. If you'd like to send us an email, it's podcast@ztgd.com. You can tweet at us at ZTGD Radio on Twitter. And check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts. They don't do Google Podcasts. That thing is dead. It's in the Google graveyard.
Wow.
I mean, it's true.
At this point, yeah, they've closed enough stuff.
Oh, Wombat's apparently been talking, but his mic ain't working.
Who?
This is the worst podcast.
I don't think we passed quality assurance.
Nope.
He's been talking and he's been rambling the fuck away.
He's been rambling on. That's funny.
He's probably like, why are you motherfuckers not, like, ignoring me? Like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, where are these motherfuckers talking over me?
We acted like that episode of South Park where everybody pretending Cartman was dead. He's like, what the fuck? Oh.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Welcome to
wonder why his mic just messed up. That's crazy.
Oh, I love this. I'm assuming he can still hear us, which is the funny part. Yeah, he still hears us, but he can't say anything. This is so funny. Holy shit! All right, I think this is
Ryan has virtual locked-in syndrome.
I'm gonna title.
He's aware of his surroundings.
This episode is literally going to be called the most professional podcast ever created.
That is what it should be called.
The mostest professionalist podcast ever.
In the corner.
That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight.
Oh man.
Anyway, that's all I got. I got nothing. I think we just need to be done. We're finished. Finito. Complete. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.